So, this is kind of a summary about the previous videos I made, but not as specific and detailed, and where I think the future of printers might be. And I'm not talking about 3D printers, which I've also talked extensively for. One of them is to design a printer that puts out ink that's more erasable. And this idea about printing out erasable ink is that we can reuse paper over and over again this one to make it more environmentally friendly, but that you could erase sections and actually draw on stuff yourself and modify it. Now, a big problem you might be pointing out is that if it's erasable, I mean, and also if we could have this a printer that has more easily removable cartridges, to put in permanent ink back and forth between the two types of ink. And we can also have different levels of erasable ink. You can have erasable ink that you just need eraser when they scrub off with water for certain papers and stuff. And you can have erasable ink or something that is not that is somewhere in between, where you have to use certain chemicals or lasers remove it by heating it up, so vaporizes or burning it off, or making it chemically change in some way, or certain chemicals you need to scrub it off. So different types of erasable ink could be used. You could also have it, so that is the first idea. Oh yeah, and also you could have it that you have certain types of paper that make it more erasable. And these types of paper would not absorb the ink as well. And that's another way of looking at it. That could make the paper more expensive. Another idea is to have, and people have been inventing this, is handheld printers. And this idea about handheld printers, it's could be portable, and you could print on something like a document on the fly, or you could start printing designs on walls or on hair. I've discussed it for looks or makeup. And then you would have to have a scanner though to figure out the angle that you're holding the thing at, the distance everything is at, to study it. Also just to figure out location and stuff like that. But it could make the whole thing a lot more portable. Then you could have it so that this handheld printing device could be made so that you put it into a handheld thing, like a stand or something. You can take it apart and everything and put it back together. So that is an expansion on that idea. Another thing that could be done is to specifically make inks, one call it, for everything. And then you can use the same printing device for multiple types of inks. This includes that you could switch out the different types of erasable inks that I've previously discussed, with different types of inks to actually print more permanent stuff, to even hair dye, so people could use it to give themselves certain hair looks in the future, or makeup. And that could be a very important thing for self-expression and stuff. Or you could do it for coatings to print out floors in the future that have specific designs without using a lot of wood that hurts the environment, or use wood that doesn't look as nice. Or you don't have to use tiles, and making tiles can cause bad mining practices, but the dust in tile mills is really bad for a lot of the workers. Or new designs all over the place. Coatings just to protect metal pieces or something like that. That would be another huge use. Then, as people develop more and more different good inks, the whole ink design and stuff, chemistry will get a bigger field, and it will self-expand and even get better inks. But for this to happen, though, we have to really figure out how to make ink cartridges more standardized and people less sketchy with inks and stuff like that, and have some universal standards that people can't get rid of it, so you can just switch in and out cartridges without having to go to 10 billion different stores that use it. And nowadays they say that we monopolize ink cartridges, so like this very specific ink cartridges for a thing, for money. But I would argue it's more profitable to standardize them if an ink printer is more capable of more things, because then HP, for example, could sell a printer to print paper, but it could also put coatings on metals to protect metals better. And then they don't have to work fully developing all the different types of inks. They can specialize, but they can sell the products to wide range of people, buy more printers and stuff. So they have a bigger market because people put on accessories to make it more worthwhile. And a market, an innovation in one market area might help another market area. That's an argument I could have right there, why you need to invent inks for everything. Another feature that's already very common in many printers is to have a scanner, and scanners can keep getting better and better and better. The fact is, scanners are very useful if you want to scan something and copy and printing it. And just to have a portable scanner that's high resolution can really help with people filling out documents. It can save a lot of money, but you could invent scanners in the future that are better than your phone for like looking at skin to detect skin diseases, or uploading high resolution images for doctors, or to show damage, or scan something for microstructure to figure out surface roughness. The uses could be endless, but we just have to start thinking about it. Now, yes, a phone can scan stuff in, but a phone has other stuff in it, much more than a printer will have. And a printer mainly is printing and scanning, so the more the hyperfocus would lead to maybe the scanner in this thing being slightly better and more robust than a phone, which will also have phone calls, have more computation power in ways, so you can play games and stuff. That's all taking part. So there's a little bit of a and a scan, and also printers are going to be bigger most likely, so have much more room for scanning pieces and instrumentation there, while still being lighter. So that's the reason why I would argue a scanner built in handheld printers and stuff can still be more useful. Or it's just more useful because you just don't have to switch between devices and upgrading it. Another thing to add is just if you're going to have this module system, we can turn a handheld one into a regular printer and just take out pieces, or you're going to handheld and move it up and stuff, is we need some motion sensors and stuff and other equipment to make it more steady. Motion sensors are becoming cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and we can back it up with scanning devices and cameras to get rid of some of the error and figure out the location precisely. But we could also change the jet streams and stuff to make it more steady. Maybe if it's farther away, it shoots at a slightly different speed, so it impacts it with more precision or less precision depending on closeness, or it spreads out the droplets more or less depending on distance. Another big thing that we could do with this whole thing and should be done is to make this whole system more modular, so we can make one that we can take apart and take with us, and you use it like a paintbrush and paint stuff on, or it's, as previously discussed, it sits there and it has a feed tray for papers and stuff. You could also have modular in that you could have different sized ink cartridges in the future for fast printing to print on big sheets of paper or bigger areas if you're handhelding it, or smaller for more fine details, or if you're putting on small stuff, or if you want to make it compact, if you want to make it more portable. You could have different motor setups for different precisions and or expenses, or different weights but precisions, because there's always a trade-off with modes between weight, speed, precision, accuracy, and price. And then there's also durability. So you could have all these different things, and also that having a modular design not only gives you this huge flexibility in what you can print and price points, but also makes it more repairable, more upgradable, and more environmentally friendly because you're not throwing out the whole entire thing. This device also could just be more environmentally friendly because instead of buying 50 different devices, you buy one device. Instead of buying all these hair kits, you have this one 3D printer for your hair. Instead of printer for your hair, and a normal printer. Instead of having a paint sprayer, you have this, and so on and so on. Some final ideas that I forgot to put down here that I'll put down now is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled, which always done in many ones. We could also have it that it's washable, And that's an important maybe future idea, because the more you take it out and everything outside doors, unless it's just sitting in one place, the more it's going to get dirty. And having a washable system really would be nice, just to clean up afterwards. Also, making washable might make it more durable in many ways, including waterproof or something like that. And having a waterproof system is great if people are going to take it outside, outdoors, or there might be raining or something, or for more outdoor projects, or something happens. But also might make it last longer and be more affordable because stuff doesn't break from any damage. And it also might be great for more specifically disabled people who are more likely to spill stuff, or more likely to use any technology to help make their lives easier in some way. Well, thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe. It really helps turn out. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers in a year and 4,000 watch hours. It's really hard, but you help I think into it. Again, thank you much. Goodbye.